this is behind the scenes, and we have Hash Hippie. We haven't started the interviewing, but he was telling a story about Smiley from the baddies. Go ahead. Let's hear about this story.
Oh my God, we're getting right into the drama, huh? All right, all right. So yeah, I ended up with my ex girlfriend getting her hooked up with Smiley from the Baddies to be on the show, and I walked this fashion runway a few years ago, and she works with celebrities. The owner, she was reaching out like, "Hey, do you know anyone who or on her story, do you know anybody who wants to work with a celebrity?" She didn't say who. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. And of course, being a good boyfriend, I'm trying to be like, yo, like, this is my girlfriend. This is all her info, sent it all over. Smiley ends up reaching out to her because she's a professional makeup artist to do her special effects makeup for the Baddies Confessionals. So we go, it's dope. Smiley's chill. She asks my girlfriend to be her personal assistant. So she flies her out with her to Miami, and as soon as she gets there, she's like, "You should break up with your boyfriend. You're single now that you're out here." Like
What?
my girl stopped like replying to me as much. Like she was like, "You blew
That's
up my."
what happened, Hash?
Yeah, she was like, "You were blowing up my phone," and I was like, "If you look at the text, it's just like good morning and like letting you know what I'm doing through the day. Like you just weren't replying to me. So it looks like there's a bunch of text messages just because you ain't even saying nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? So
Wait, hold up. So you know what, when we kind of briefly talked about your relationship, I thought it was some typical shit. Like,
my life ain't typical.
so
I'm a
not like
I'm a
that, but
pro
I mean,
skater and an
as far as,
influencer. My girl was
so
pro,
she left you over the fact that Smiley told her to do it?
and that was kind of my mindset at the same time. In the end of the day, as things progressed, because it was just like if you're willing to meet someone and know them for a week, and then once they sound like they're going to give you a better life or a different life, because she didn't end up getting paid or anything like that, but like, for the work she was doing out there. But uh it was a whole it was a whole thing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're just gonna willing to meet someone and just switch up your whole lifestyle and be like, yeah, the last like 6 months I spent with this person ain't shit, like I'm just gonna switch over and do this. It's just kind of like, what the fuck? That's crazy. And then she's in Miami. I'm at her apartment with her dogs and all my things in the apartment because I was staying with her. So I'm just like, if we break up, what's gonna happen to all this? Like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? So it was a crazy ass situation. And after that, the relationship just went downhill, and
You
everything
know
happens
what?
for a
No,
reason.
no, no offense to people, trying to advance their goals, but you ain't got to do it like that. You don't
Yeah,
have to advance yourself and just be a lapdog, like doing every fucking thing somebody a little bit higher than you. You don't do that because first off, and this is no offense to Smiley, because I hope you on the up and up, but well, maybe you not, because I do watch Patties, bitch. Smiley, this message is to your ass, okay? Because I know you do that dark web and all that bullshit, but that was motherfucking wrong, Smiley. I'm gonna tell you, you got in the middle of somebody's fucking relationship, but anyhow, no qualms here though, but right.
yeah,
People, I'm here for the folks that's rising. You feel me? The
yeah,
people that I'm here for support. So if you out there trying to rise, right? Not trying, you getting there, you doing it. Don't listen to these people that give you these false hopes and promises. And let's say maybe she ain't giving her false hopes and promises, but at the same time, you never, even on a regular level, you never let nobody let you be no crash dummy. I'm sorry, that's crash dummy behavior. You
Yeah.
don't let somebody tell you what your personal life should be looking like. Nah, that's business. And this is why I always say never mix business with pleasure. But let's get into it. Let's
Yeah,
get
hell
into it. I'm Shawnee Love with the Real Voice LA. We was being a little bit messy right now, but it's
yeah.
all good. It's all good because man, we gonna be real positive today with Hesh on the very first day of January. Damn, I'm so happy to leave 2025 behind me.
Yep. Hell yeah, I feel you on that.
So let's go. Let's go straight into it. So tell us about yourself, Hesh. I know some things, but for the people that don't know, tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm the Hesh Hippie. From Orange County, like inner city OC, not like the rich beach areas, but you know, like the inner city, Santa Ana, Garden Grove, Anaheim, that area. Um, I grew up skateboarding, and that kind of broke me out of my shell and got me sponsors. By the time I was 18, got me into music videos, got me brand deals. Gave me the confidence to kind of be in front of the camera, and taught me to like always do media. Everything's content, and since then I started doing cannabis influencing from the beginning of the cannabis industry, working at the Hollywood Hemp Museum with one of my skate sponsors. So shout out Yahudo and Fresh Gator J.
Yep.
Um,
Shout
Betty
out.
Crocker, yep, and then Betty Crocker Bakes reached out to me when I started doing photography and filming, and she had me bring a bunch of skaters to the skate event at
Oh wow.
the Jade Room over in Torrance.
Okay.
The cannabis clinic. We brought people over there, and that was kind of my start in the industry. Around the same time as me getting booked for the fashion runway, the Canna Catwalk fashion show.
Okay.
Um, I'm
So
black and
you wear
Mexican too.
different hats. You're a skateboarder, a model. Tell us about that. What else are you?
Yeah, I do. I skate in music videos. I'm a promoter, so I promote different clubs and venues and events and cannabis brands and all these different things. I model for all of them. I'm a photographer and a filmer for the entertainment industry. So I run Street Savage TV, and I work with. I've just this past year I've shot photos for multiple events with um, Amanda Carrera. She's huge right now. Zoe Sama, Sugar Free. I was on stage shooting his photos. Dave East, Killer Priest, and Master Killer from the Wu Tang Clan. Just the list goes on. Of course, the homies D3, the rock star from Long Beach.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, I was supposed to interview him. D3. What happened?
yeah, that would be an interesting interview. He's a wild dude. That'd be a crazy interview to listen to him speak for real. He's
But
a
I ain't worried about it. You know, everybody got their whatever. Shiny Love
yeah,
is full of love. Don't everybody don't get that twisted. I love my
yeah,
haters as well as my supporters. But
yeah.
if you a hater, stay the fuck away from me.
Yeah, I feel that
Stay the fuck
for
away from me. But
real.
my bad. Go ahead.
But yeah, no, from Yellow Hill, I did his music
Oh,
video with Rob Law. So from I'm black and Mexican, so I like to be that bridge between the black and Mexican culture, and go to both events and support both cultures, and really anyone who embraces their own culture and who they are. I kind of support that through Street Savage TV, and that's my outlet to help other people, where I really promote and I really do these other things outside of me in front of the camera promoting. You know what I'm saying?
wow. That list is quite a that's some heavy hitters there. So how long have you been okay, so how did you get your foot in the door? Let's help out the people that's
I
that
think to get into the entertainment industry, the thing that helped out the most was my skateboarding and working on branding myself as an individual. because once I started working on myself and promoting myself, then these brands were hitting me up like, "Hey, we want you to do this cannabis skate promo. Could you skate?" Like Ash Loud Speakers was one of the first companies that reached out to me. Other than We Out Here, though, of course, because they were the homies and they had the booth at the Hollywood Hip Museum. But uh, again, that's a skate sponsor. Skateboarding really brought me into a lot of these things. Never quitting with my consistency. I always was posting. I have YouTube videos that are 15 years old, 16 years old, just because I was always on that wave of promoting myself.
15
And
years old. You look almost damn near 50. How old are you? I don't mean to.
I 33.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
figured you was like in your early 20s, but
A lot of people think I'm in my early 20s. I kind of use that to my advantage. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm skating better than I ever have, and I have more connections than ever. And if I have that young look, I could still model for another 10, 20 years and have that mentality of knowing what to do and how to maneuver these days. So I feel like it's kind of my superpower in this moment.
right, right. So, let me ask you this. What were you like as a child?
As a young child, I was quiet and scared of everything before I started skateboarding.
Wow.
I I grew up in my Mexican half. I never met my whole black half. I never met my dad. So, living in my house, it was everyone was really older than me, so it was kind of like don't talk back, and it was kind of a little more strict. And then when I started skateboarding, that's really what brought out my confidence. And they were like, "We want to hear you speak. We want to see you skate. We want you to promote our companies. We want you in this music video." And, with all the people believing in me and having all the pros around me where I was at. So I got to see kids skating and getting sponsors and getting their pro boards and putting out video parts and have renting out a venue and having a video premiere that the entire community comes and there's 100 people in the building. And it was something that without skateboarding I wouldn't have had the confidence that I had. But I was just this quiet little kid that, I mean, I kind of got in fights and things as a kid. I kind of just didn't take shit. I was a quiet, kind kid, but it was like I was taught like if you get hit, hit back. Don't be a
Gotta
fucking
protect yourself.
yeah,
You know what's
exactly. So
funny is I have a similar story. Cause right, I was a quiet child.
yeah,
I would have never back in the day thought I'd be doing podcasting. So when something is really like just comes from like the spirit world, and I'm not gonna get all into that. That's usually how the story goes. Yeah, like your early beginning life is usually the opposite of what your adult life is. Yeah, because by nature, I'm actually a shy person. And people be like, every time I tell someone I'm shy, they be like, shut up. Like, no, you're not shy. Like, what are you talking about? You shy. Yeah, no, I really am shy. I was a shy child. And like sometimes when I get around people, they think I'm supposed to be this big personality and like just have it. But I'm really kind of quiet because when I'm in my personal realm, I'm not, I'm the same person. Don't get me wrong, because this is the real voice of LA.
yeah,
But I'm not as boisterous like that. I'm not boisterous.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's a different energy when you in the world, and it's like whenever I'm like dating someone, they get a different side than the world gets to see because who I have to be in this industry. I can't be this soft, you know, cuddly little person, like you got to
Yeah,
be
that
able
see, and
to
not to cut you
handle your
off, but this is what we need to do starting the Diddy era.
Yeah, you got to be a
We
fucking robot in this bitch and just be like, "Yep,
yeah.
uh-huh, I'm here for
And
business.
let
Here to
the
make shit
public
happen."
know, like it's still me at the end of the day, but do I always be this on? No. I
Hmm. Yeah, exactly.
don't
Yeah,
always be this on.
that Diddy doc's crazy. And then
Oh,
with him not paying people and doing all these shady things, it's like now everything's coming out because there ain't no loyalty. You know,
now
when
you
you get
know
too
what creeped me out. So you seen it then. Let's talk about it a
I
little
saw
bit.
like I saw like uh three of the four parts.
I see the all four parts. You gotta understand. I
Yeah.
lived through the
And I
D. You see what I'm saying? So all
yeah,
this
that
stuff
was
coming out right now has ruined my childhood.
no, I remember watching like Diddy at the BET Awards and all that shit, like as a
Yeah.
little kid. And now thinking back, like all this shit was happening while I was watching this and I had no idea.
And I didn't even know about that incident that he had when he had a whole party, celebrity basketball. I didn't know folks got killed. I don't even remember hearing about, like, I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, but
But
you don't remember as much as the dark controversy is you
yeah,
realize.
the media didn't even put that out there.
Uh-huh.
They
He
didn't put
probably
that out
paid.
there that people got killed and trampled and all this stupid shit. They didn't put that out there, but it's like everybody was so happy about him doing that celebrity basketball. Like, damn,
What
and people
well
got killed.
at the same time we didn't have social media like we do today, you know? So something like
Right.
the Travis Scott situation happened and people just so happen to be so many people, some unfortunate situation happens, you know? But it's all over the news. This is something that happened again and that shit they didn't have cell phones, so they didn't have 50 angles of it, you know?
Yeah.
Even with cell phones, you get like two angles of a situation sometimes, you know? So if that's 5,000 people and you get two angles, maybe, then in the era with no phones, you really couldn't be like, oh, let me get my giant camera set up and fucking rig it up and have everything in time for this crazy situation happening, you know?
Right. So, I just feel like, we in the public eyes need to just, keep it real. But man, I'm so glad that you got on my show today. So let's talk about how long you plan on what are like your future goals in this industry? What, because you kind of like in different industries. You like modeling, you also in the cannabis, you're in the skateboarding. You got a couple of industries you're actually tackling. That can get a little rough. I mean, to
Yeah,
juggle
but
that.
I feel like as a skateboarder, we kind of deal with all those industries already because we put out skate videos, so we have to contact the record labels to use their music and get the rights to it. And then you have these brands that are reaching out to us because now we're the face of companies and skateboarding's the leader of street culture, raps in street culture. A lot of skaters use rap in their skate videos, or rappers are skating these days, like Lil Wayne and Lil Uzi Vert. Um, so it's just like even Playboy Cardi just came out with his skate brand. I think it's called Evil. It's YBL. But so many different lanes skateboarding kind of dives into, and I think we put ourselves in boxes as artists sometimes because it's like, okay, I'm a rapper or I'm a skateboarder, but that doesn't mean you don't love anime, you don't love wrestling, you don't love, uh, all these different things, boba, random things in the world that everybody relates to. So I think the what I do with my company and Street Savage TV is I cater to I say the savages of the culture and entertainment industry. So if you have a passion, you're just unapologetically yourself, like you just don't give a fuck. Like I smoke weed and I'm going to be consistent posting about smoking weed because that's what I believe in. That's what I fight for. I'm an advocate. I go to the events. I work with the brands. Like you have these rappers and they're rapping, and now I work in the cannabis industry. So if they want to do something in cannabis industry and they need photos, guess well, I'm a photographer and a videographer. So I tie everything that I do together and find ways to tie everyone together and make everything work. And I have rappers hit me up and they're like, "Hey, I need girls for a music video." All right, cool. I got the models. What are you looking for? What type of vibe you going for? Okay, I'll reach out to these girls, link you up, and we're gonna
Okay.
make this project work. You
So
know what
you
I'm saying?
also the plug then.
So yeah, I
You
do.
the
That's
plug.
why with my mind, my visions, I kind of just, I listen to what people want, and if they love skateboarding, then it's like, well, I'm a skater. You want me to skate in the back of your music video, or do you want me to tap into some people to skate in the back of the music video? Do you need a warehouse with skateboarders? Because I work with, OC ramps before. Do you need whatever they need, I kind of could plug them in and create my own visions into reality and create their visions into reality. So I kind of just, yeah, everything that I work with is things that I'm passionate about, and I already mentally know how to tie those worlds together in the right way.
That's what's up. So everybody, you need to get out here because he definitely is the plug.
Yeah.
Um,
But yes, I think it's embracing what you love though is the best way to juggle it. You know what I'm saying? Um, if you love, you know, girls in the clubs twerking and partying, and you like to throw events like that, and you also love fashion and runways, like I've worked with Rockstar to where they're like an alternative runway that they'll go to a bar and rent out the venue, and then he gets all the girls, the models to come. He knows people who do like actual clothing design from scratch, from the ground up. They actually make their own clothing and designers. So he'll have designers work with the models. He hits up photographers. I've done the photography. He has a fashion blog online. He has his own bikinis
wow.
that he puts out onto the runway himself with his own merch. So I think we're in this era to where, and he even had Milani Tsunami come out, and I think she performed with some of the models that they had for the runway, and the models walked the runway to her performing on stage.
Oh, wow.
So it's just we're in this era that we could kind of create our own lanes, and we just have to not be afraid of like feeling alone or feeling like you don't know which direction to go, because when there's no blueprint, there is no direction to go. You're creating that direction.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you got to make sure that you are very comfortable with being alone when you trying to get successful. Cause right,
Yeah.
like I realize it's a very lonely road, but somebody got to do it.
Yeah, it's
Somebody
like
got
Mac Miller in his he has that song Brand Name, and the hook says we ain't nothing but a brand name, and he also says you don't want this life I live, you'd rather have a wife and kids, and that's some real ass shit, because his life is always on the road. It's always connecting with different people. There's a lot of women and models in his life to where even if he is loyal, that you got to have someone that trusts you to be loyal and doesn't have that insecurity to break things down in your own world and allow you to be you. So there's a whole lot of factors in our life that a lot of people just working that regular 9 to 5 don't have to deal with. But at the same time, it's following your passion, and you have so many amazing opportunities and people, and you work with brands that you grew up wearing or buying yourself. So it's a trade off, and if we didn't have creators and entertainment, there'd be no one to watch on TV or nothing to listen to, or you know,
Right.
it's a blessing and a curse.
It definitely is, Hesh. So I know we talked about Smiley and that whole relationship thing. So
Yeah.
I that seems that's and you know what? That sounds pretty hurtful. I mean, how long were you with her?
Um, 6 months.
Oh, okay. And
So
I mean, I guess she feels that she advanced her career, right? So,
yeah. Uh, but you know, she's a veteran and has been through a lot, you know. So
okay.
being in the relationship, I knew there was gonna be a special amount of patience and understanding that I was gonna have to have. That is like different
And
than
when
a
you say
normal relationship.
veteran, what do you mean?
Well,
Was she?
she was in the army.
Oh, she's an actual veteran.
Yeah, she's a literal veteran and a professional makeup artist.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So she has her own motion. When I met her, she was working on movie sets, going out all the time to different premieres and events and different things. So, um, you know, she's very successful, very talented. Um, it's just like I said, when it comes to, you know, like just I don't know, maybe just mental health, you know, and things like that with everything going on and having to deal with all the things with us being entertainers and in this industry and stuff. It just mentally, it's a lot. And then that whole thing with Smiley happened, and then it just had me questioning everything to where it was just like, yeah, I think, you know, if we're not making each other happy and we're just like not progressing in a positive way, then it's probably better just to move forward and keep things on a positive note. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That whole that whole once she linked up with Smiley and stuff like that, that's really when things went downhill. So I was just like, yeah, I don't know how to feel anymore.
Yeah, and sometimes it bees like that, but
Yeah, and the show must go on. You know what I'm saying? I got
yes.
still all these events and deals and things that I'm got going on. So it's almost like I'm kind of like I've been through so much, I guess, in the past with like my baby mama and fighting for my son and not having him for 2 years of his life.
Oh wow,
He's
you had to
5.
fight for your son?
Yeah, so I've already been through so much to where it's just like I know where to focus my energy and just kind of like I said, it's not that I don't have emotions, but it's just like I have a different understanding mentally to what I want to do and where I want to go, and I have so much on my regular basis. It's like I don't even have time to like literally just sit and be sad, you know? Like, and
And
there's so
what
much
was
positive happening. It's like I have,
right.
you know, all these collaborations I have coming up and all these different things on my plate that I'm excited for the future. So it's kind of like I've understood that there's a give and a take, and there's a lot of ups and downs in this industry, and this is just one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's 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 like Nipsey Hussle has said, right? You're gonna go through every emotion.
Yeah,
Every emotion. And Lord Jesus, I have went through so many emotions.
yeah.
Woo,
I
but
fucking love that song. That little speech he has in that song fucking hits. It's crazy. He
yeah,
was a real one for real.
he definitely left like a blueprint, because left a blueprint for some of us that wasn't even in that mind frame, you know.
Yeah, I just before he passed away, I was getting into his music. I'm not even gonna be like lying and be like, "Oh, I loved him from the beginning," because like I was listening, I knew who he was, and I listened to some of his music, and I was like, "All right." And then when Victory Lap and these other songs came out,
Yeah.
I was like, damn, like he really is on a different mindset with business. And I've always been a big fan of Young Dolph. And, he's always talking about money and, you know, different mindsets. And Nipsey was talking about money and different mindsets and building businesses and growing wealth. And then when everything happened with that, it was just like, uh, it's kind of crazy, just sad that such a talented person was like, taken at that time of his rise.
Yeah, I know. But at least we had him here that long. As
Yeah.
Laura London would say, shout outs to her too. Shout outs to everybody you've been talking about.
Yeah.
So do you have any regrets at all at 30 something years old?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of regrets that I have, in life, in the industry, and just, but at the same time, no, because everything's a learning experience, and if you didn't go through those negative times, you wouldn't have known how to maneuver. Some of the times that were really negative in the industry that, you know, uh, I learned how to carry myself, or maybe even I carried myself in a way that was positive, that showed me that the the positive mindset and way of doing things was the right way of maneuvering in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
um, whether it's good or bad, I feel like it's a good learning experience, and I believe everything happens for a reason. It's just
right.
trying to lead with the best intentions, but
Yeah.
there's definitely a couple things that I regret, even like myself when I was like 21, 22, around that time I ended up with a felony and a strike, and I had like hit someone with a skateboard, and in that moment it was kind of like, damn, like what if I kill this person? Like, then what happens to my skate career? Then everything, like, like my whole life like flash before my eyes of like, what do I want to do and what direction do I want to go.
When
And
did
if
this
it,
happen?
when I was like 21, something like that.
Oh, I just had a moment just like that this year. It
Yeah.
was like I was literally on Santa Monica Boulevard in Hollywood fighting a bloody ass fight. A bloody fucking fight. I even got on here and told a couple of people about it. But it was just so dumb. It was really dumb. And maybe somebody could interview Shawnee Love with that shit, but I ain't about to go into it. But anyhow, yeah. I definitely come prepared when I go out like that. You feel me sometimes? Cause I know where I be and I be's where I'm at, right? So
Yeah.
cause I'm not even gonna go into that. Because you know what? It can
Yeah.
get weird up in this industry. And I have Shawty
Yeah.
Love is trying to stay up out of that weird shit. But I got
Yeah.
caught up earlier, earlier in 2025.
Yeah.
So same shit. And I had to think, man, if I really hurt this bitch, I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
to jail.
And then after that, it made me think of everything too, because it's like, okay, like, because I hit him first, I couldn't get self defense, even though it was like him coming at me in the first place.
Same
So then
here.
I'm kind of just like,
She socked me in my
yup.
fucking head. She right.
Yeah.
Same here.
So it's almost like you're figuring out like a system. The system's like a game. Like, oh, he hit you first, so this is what we're gonna do. And then if you take this deal of 6 months and a year probation, or however many probation, and pay this, then this, or you could take this and go in for this amount of time, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, am I like just up for auction now. Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
this
you
is my
actually
motherfucking
got locked
life.
up for hitting somebody with a skateboard?
Yeah, I end up getting a felony and a strike with assault for with a deadly weapon.
Mm. How much time did you do?
Uh, 60 days,
Okay.
52 at Theo Lacey, and then when I first went in, they had me in Santa Ana, like the main jail. And then I was there for a week. I got bailed out, fought my case for a few years, and then had to do they gave me the week time served. So I had to do 52 days over in Theo Lacey in Orange, next across the street from the skate park I grew up skating, Van Skate Park.
Wow.
Yeah, I was at that skate park every day, and then I was at that fucking jail for 52 days across the street.
I know that was an experience.
Yeah, and I used to run across country like on the riverbeds behind the jail and be looking and see people looking out the window and thinking like, "Damn, that's crazy. I wonder what like their perspective is." And then I was in the same area able to look out that window and seeing cross country runners running like I was and being like, "Damn, like be careful what you ask for." You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I'm
ever
here.
since then, I stopped. I was like, you know what? I'm not just gonna be so damn open to hanging out with folks that seem cool in the industry, right?
Yeah.
You really gotta vet folks now, especially these days. You really
Yeah.
gotta vet folks and figure out because motherfuckers will smile in your face. But if you they doing somewhat, a little red flag, because you know what? And a disclaimer in the industry, because like I said, we were talking about the Diddy shit, right?
Yeah.
And my thing is, Diddy wrong. Diddy is wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the people that were around him that was accepting all his bullshit are even more wrong. And that they repeatedly continued to deal with him because they wanted to be in the industry. That's where it's all fucked up. Because it's much higher than Diddy, because it wasn't just, I mean, look, Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was drugging people, R. Kelly, and now Diddy. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
the industry really needs to be on the up and up and more. Cause right, I'm not, I'm not gonna deal with none of that weird shit no more. Not,
Yeah, for real.
no,
I
no.
really like there's a select few people that I really fuck with to where I'm like when I was with my ex, she was like, "You don't really go out and like have friends." And it's like, "Well, I go to these events all the time. I see them all the time." She's like, "No, but like you don't just go and hang out." And it's like, "Well, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of a different energy when you go and just are kicking it with the person or I've been around people in the industry to where you go hang out with them and you're with them for a few hours, you're like, I never want to see you again. You know what I'm saying? Like it's there is some weird there's some weird shit to where it's like
Man.
you
Because like, no offense to that producer that I'm sorry, I do smoke and I am drinking. I don't remember the band's name, but and shout outs to him, and I'm really sorry for what he went through. But the first time that I woke up feeling weird, like somebody did some shit, I wouldn't have stayed another fucking night. You see what I'm saying? Like, but you kept going with no offense to you, brother, but you know who you are out there. I can't remember his name, and if you know, but good
yeah,
Lord, if you felt like somebody did something to your ass the first night, why the fuck would you continue the next fucking night?
yeah. I'm trying to find a way out ASAP. That shit's crazy.
Cause you trying to get paid. I understand. But sometimes in this business, you gotta shut that up. That's exposure though. If one
Yeah.
the first night I got violated, I'm done. Or else you gotta pay. It's basically pay me or pay me no, never mind. I would have got my money that fucking day. I would have been like, nigga, I feel like something's wrong with my ass. Okay, so you need to give me my 100K right today. Today. If we gonna
Right?
continue. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck would you keep going and doing it and doing it and you ain't even guaranteed your fucking money and you just keep doing? That's what he said in the documentary. He said, I, you know what? I don't even know it
That doc
verbatim.
was crazy.
And it's not fucking funny. Good Lord. What is wrong with you? And then his assistant, even she's seen so much. She's seen him beat up females. Like, bitch.
Yeah.
And then he didn't try. He kidnapped her and did all that. And she didn't even go to the police and report that shit. OMG. Good
Right?
Lord.
They must have been getting paid good ass money because that's wild as fuck to not say anything.
My
You got,
conscience, I couldn't deal with it. I
I mean,
couldn't.
shit. Like, in the end of the day, like, it's years later and they're still speaking out in the documentary, so that money wasn't even worth it. And if they
That's
didn't
because
get
his
paid
ass
that
is
money,
locked
then
up. They ain't get. He must have cut their ass off. You know what? And I'm not sitting
after
up
that
here
documentary,
trying to
yeah,
condone, huh? What'd you say?
after that documentary, he cut him off real quick.
And I'm not trying to condone what P. Diddy did, but he's only as big as the motherfuckers around him. That's how I strongly feel. You're only as big
Mhm.
as the motherfuckers around you. And if the motherfuckers is letting you get away with that type of shit, like, good Lord. But the way they were doing, and it's not what they did, it's how they were doing it. Just like I said, that producer, you didn't guarantee your money, nigga, when you got in the studio? What the fuck? Oh, because it's Diddy, you just getting in studios? You need to guarantee your money. That's where some of us get a little, and right. This is for you rising stars. Don't
Don't be
be.
nice.
Yeah, don't be motherfucking not. Guarantee your money. They want to work with you. So guarantee the money. Get something in writing so you keep going. You have incentives. That when he said he kept because he let me maybe Shawnee Love wrong. But did you get that impression that he kept doing it and kept staying there because he wanted his money? Didn't he say that? He said he wanted
Yeah.
his money. I feel him, but at the end of the day, right, when somebody tells you they want to work with you, don't just go silly nilly up in there and not get no contract or no nothing. You have to, especially
No
these days,
contract or deposit at least.
something.
Yeah, because in the end of the day, it's like if you go through all that and then they get in a mood and they're just like, oh, get out of here, and you have no money and you're in a different state or you're in a different city, it's like, okay, now you gotta either drive or find transportation or you haven't ate. Like, these different factors that you need to factor in on these everyday bases. And even if it's like a big event and it's like they have these big artists coming out, like not all of those artists are their friends sometimes. They're paying them 10K, 5K, and they have a budget for this event. If they're not giving you a percentage of that budget, it kind of shows how much they put the worth onto you as an individual.
Right.
Luckily, if I go to these events, I'm friends with enough people to where even if I pull up, they're like, hey, here's VIP, here's a VIP bag, you know. If they I'll usually go to an event sometimes if they're like, look, we can't pay you, but we'll do this, this, and this. And I'm like, you know what? you're the homie, okay. But if it's random people and they're just like, hey, promote my event, and then they never talk to you again, then you kind of don't really get anything out of it. You know, maybe a little bit of content for one moment, but in the end of the day, you know, that content could have went somewhere to where they pay you and you make a connection, you maybe make a friend, you know. Um, I have friends that I've known for years and they rap and they pay me to do their videos and photos and, you know, book me for media for their big events that they do. And then I get opportunities to shoot photos for other big name artists. And, you know, when you're able to work honestly, things flow a lot smoother. But a lot of these people don't love what they do necessarily at the same time. They get into the industry to be a photographer and make money. And then they go to these events and they're not getting paid and they fizzle out within a year or two, you know, which there is a curve to where you got to build your name and build your reputation and show them what the fuck you about.
Mm.
But like me kind of being in the industry and now it's like I have this portfolio of, like I said, working with Wu Tang members and Corrupt and Sugar Free, DJ Quick, you know, John B. You know, Lamar Odom pulled up to one of our cannabis events one time, or Betty Crocker Bakes cannabis events with in South Central. But you know, we have all these big name people that if you're on my Instagram and I have these people that I'm connected to, and now you're on the radar with them, and now you're on the Instagram to where you're scrolling down, and you know, you see Lefty Gunplay, and then you see their face, and then you see, you know, DJ Quick, and then just all the biggest legends and artists, you know. Now, me, myself, I have to put some respect on my own name and understand my own worth and hold myself to a certain degree because, I mean, I started doing photos and videos because I was already in the industries, modeling and skating and in music videos. And I'm already around all these great people that people don't have access to and in these rooms that other people don't have access to. So why not document it, you know? And,
Exactly.
you know, getting to that point, it took, you know, 3, 4 years of every single month going to these events and maybe a solid year of not getting paid that much, you know, making a few $100s to like $1,000 like a
And
year. You know?
you gotta definitely be very passionate about what you do when you're
Yeah,
like an entrepreneur and business owner. You gotta really be passionate about it because that's what keeps you going if you're not doing it for but a little bit of just exposure at times. You feel me? Um,
yeah.
so who else would you like to work with?
Um, when it comes down to really working with people, I love all types of music. So it would be awesome to work with, you know, from people like YG or, you know, I've shot photos with the Shoreline Mafia multiple times at different events that I've seen them at, but I haven't actually like worked with them, like one on one type shit, you know?
Mm.
So I think there's a lot of, you know, a lot of those bigger artists that, you know, Doja Cat, Tyler the Creator. Um, I love very creative rappers. I love street rappers. I love people with a story. So that's why, you know, street rappers always kind of were something I gravitated towards more. And then living where I live in like OC, it's like you go around OC and it's like Anaheim Hills, which is rich, and like Huntington Beach and like Laguna Beach. But then you go into my area and it's like, you know, you could turn the wrong corner next to Disneyland and you in the hood. You know, so it's just like that's the type shit that I grew up in, and that's why I love like the inner city OC vibe of the people that really have stories. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the first time in school that like a kid was killed like by like gang violence and shit like that, I was like 12, and it was like Halloween, and he got like shot in the park next to my house, and then like crawled into a backyard, and like the family found him, like, and then like the
Found
whole
him
school
what,
was
alive,
sad.
or he was
Huh?
alive? Found him.
He got shot, and he crawled into the backyard and like died in like this
Oh,
random
wow.
backyard. But he was like already like in fully like, there was, it was normal for there to be like little like gang cliques in like my like middle school, like seventh graders,
And you talking
like,
about in the OC, right?
yeah. So it was it was
Y'all
normal to
got
have
gang
that
issues out
around.
there in the OC? That's what I don't know.
it it's it's there's a lot of taggers. There's like a lot of like little gangs that are around that you don't even realize. Um,
Mm.
where I always kick it at's Ponderosa Park, and that's where my local skate park is. But it's like right across from like the hood. So, but at the same time, it's truly like, like the hood, like a neighborhood, like a community. Like you got all the fucking, whether it's like the taggers or whatever they do in the streets, or just family members just living in the houses. They got like taco truck in the neighborhood. They got a little like neighborhood like market truck. Like you could just go skate over and get some chips in the hood, and a drink, and they got deodorant for the people who live there. And you don't even gotta like, go to the store if you live in that neighborhood. But it's a dope little community, and there is really fucking dope. um they went viral because there was a police chase that went through like the park and the skate park, and the dude ended up getting like pit maneuvered into a tree, and then they
Oh,
finally like
wow.
got him out of the car. But
Damn.
that's the type shit with, Ponderosa Park that
So
is,
Ponderosa Park is like the hood park.
yeah, I think
Oh,
they call
okay.
it Hood Park, or
Mm.
like Weed Park or something. So I don't know. When I was locked up, it's like that when I
Yeah.
was younger, and I was like, "What? Really? I'm there every day. It's crazy." But yeah, Ponderosa, I love those people. They're dope. Shout out to Pondy. Shout out to the Ponderosa Anaheim community.
Shout out.
Um, I I grew up right on like the Garden Grove Anaheim border, so that's why I'm like right there all the time.
So they be gang banging out there by Disneyland.
Yeah, shit's crazy. Like literally, like,
The
and
happiest
that's
place
like
on
just
earth.
one
They
of the
be gang
neighborhoods,
banging out there.
like you,
It's funny.
right? The scrappiest place on earth, right outside of it. Crazy. No, yeah, that it gets, yeah, it was even worse, of course, like when I was younger, when it was like I was born 92, so when I was going to school, um, and I started kind of realizing that it was kind of like, like kind of the late 90s, early 2000s era. And that's when there was a bunch of, you know, I could probably list like 7, 8 gangs just in like a short area of
Wow.
what's around us. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And then you got
y'all
Santa
heard it.
Ana.
Be careful when you go to Anaheim too. Be careful. Gotta be
But
careful in these
yeah,
streets.
but it's at the same time, there's some nice areas, like there's Anaheim, and then there's Anaheim Hills. That's like really bougie. And you go there, the streets are clean. Like it's a nice area. Like things are a little more spaced out. You go to Irvine, that's the safest city in Orange County, and that's like everything is like super fucking. The houses all look the same, so there's nice areas of Orange County. You know, it's just like if you want more of culture, like if you go to Santa Ana, you're gonna see graffiti art on the walls, and it's like murals and shit like that. You'll see Sand Wonder, a lot of her graffitis on the walls out there, like commissioned by like the businesses and shit like that. You go to Fourth Street, Fourth Street Market, you got you know, it's a lot of bricks and it looks kind of nice, but then you have like a skate park there now. You got graffiti on the walls and the alleyways. Like I love how the inner city has graffiti and culture and artwork and a lot of Mexican community. You know, you have a mix of people, a lot of Asian community in like Westminster. You have black community mixed in. Like you have everyone coming for Disneyland, so you have every person in the world showing up, you know, different types of people. And then LA is 30, 40 minutes away, so you got all the LA people pulling up. So it's just such a melting pot in this area. It's pretty dope.
Hmm. I never really hung out in Anaheim, but a couple
Yeah.
of times, but I didn't really know. I really haven't. I didn't even know y'all had a thing, cause like, I guess, but you know what? You actually putting them on the map. You've been putting them on the map, right? Like,
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm always repping like
they need to
OC.
give you a key to the city.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I grew up in Garden Grove, so and I was born in Fountain Valley at the hospital. My son was born at the same hospital actually. So that's pretty dope. But yeah, Orange County is where I grew up, and when I started skating and going to LA and Long Beach, I got to, you know, really get to like see and embrace that vibe and like fell in love with just like the LB LA, you know, like just the fashion, the creativity, like that's really where you see the graffiti and the you know, LB has fucking rainbow sidewalks, you know, and then you got the downtown area, then you got LA and you got the graffiti on all the walls and all the tagging and fucking all the nightlife, like hanging out there with the homies from We Out Here though, like Fresh Gator J. Uh we'd be out there all night, like from spot to spot. Or I used to go to like there's this uh goth club, Bar Sinister. There's Bar Sin, and then there's also Drag House out there. So
Yeah, I
I
was
would go
gonna
to like
say,
Drag House.
give your shout outs to everybody, and then let us know what your current projects are gonna be, or like for
Yeah, oh
future
yeah.
or current.
So shout out to speaking of goth, Afro goth aesthetic. I'm a lead representative. It is representing alternative black um goth, like punk rock culture. People who are just like I said with Street Savage TV, unapologetically themselves, always had that style. Um, always there's with our community, we have a lot of people reaching out saying that they felt like they didn't have a community where they fit in, and they didn't feel like there was a lot of people that they could connect with until they saw our page and they see us posting consistently every day with these new influencers and you know people we work with. So shout out to Afro Goth. I hosted that first Afro Goth Fest. That was amazing. Shout out to Yokan Tech for sending me these for promo and giveaways. I did 2 giveaways last year with Yokan Tech. You know, maybe we could, you know, if they send me some more product, maybe I could, you know, do a little more giveaways for all you guys out there. Pretty dope.
Yeah, let's do
The
some giveaways.
Yeah, hell yeah. And then shout out to Rollers Royale. I got an episode of a game show, a redemption episode coming out, and it's like a weed rolling game show. So I'm gonna be part of that coming out on the. We're gonna do it on the 28th, I believe. Be filming it.
Oh wow.
So um, I may have a collaboration with a smoke shop in Orange County. Maybe do like a skate jam and get some cannabis brands and some different people maybe to sponsor it and come out, or just get a bunch of people to come out to this, you know, event and have a good time and get some collaborations going. So, uh, shout out Puffin OC
Shout
out
out,
the
shout
smoke shop.
out.
Uh, we're gonna have another Afro Goth Fest coming to Los Angeles this time. I hosted the last one at the New Woo Collective in Las Vegas, Nevada. This time we got it in LA. So that's gonna be dope.
Hey,
Uh Second annual Afro Goth Fest. They just
wow.
had Bronxlandia, so they had an event in the Bronx that they just had. I was gonna possibly host that one, but I wasn't able to make it out to the Bronx. That would have been amazing to connect with, the Afro Goth
Yeah.
community out there.
So,
But
yeah, because you know what? Yeah, let's talk about that because you actually have, so you have two Instagrams, Hesh Hippie, but then you have Hesh Hippie TV. So talk about that, please, because I wanted to get that in there too. Like,
well, I have HeshHippie TV, and then HeshHippie TV 2 is my backup because there was at one point that I had my Instagram taken down for like a day or something like that. I had to, but in that moment, I was like, "Oh shit, I don't have a backup." So whatever happens, like if anything happens to my account, then I'm just out on Instagram. So I made a backup account, the Hesh Hippie 2, to kind of, you know, uh,
oh,
just
you know
in
what? I'm
case anything
talking about your
happens.
streets, your act, the Street Savage TV. You have street. It's called Street Savage TV,
Oh
right?
yeah, Street
Oh,
Savage.
talk
Uh
about
huh.
that. Let me hear
So
about it.
so the difference between my two Instagrams, I kind of keep them separate. Like I said, I built my name as a skateboarder and as like a cannabis influencer on my own right, and I love to do in front of the camera work and be in music videos and do the modeling and be
Okay.
in the photo shoots and in the movies and whatever else my
So
life
are you
brings.
starting a TV network or what?
I'm going to start doing more videos where I'm speaking. Like I'm going to be releasing a video. Um, it may be today or tomorrow about speaking about the skateboarding industry and some things that have been going on with there was this whole debate about skate shops and Zoomies being like kind of like a sellout kind of company type shit. And I was like,
Not Zoomies.
yeah. So I'm gonna go speak on it to where I was gonna speak on why I feel that um, skate shops have just gotten lazy. Because when I was younger, there was all these skate jams where they would have skate contests that the local skate shop would sponsor at a skate park, or they'll have it at their skate shop, or they'd have video premieres or demos or whatever it is, photo shows. Um, and I don't see that as much anymore. Even my local Ponderosa Park, nobody ever does anything on National Go Skateboarding Day for that skate park. The
Oh,
kids there have to go somewhere else. Um, Shout out to the locals in Santa Ana near Centennial Skate Park, because they
and oh,
actually
I
go.
want to shout out because that, like you said, there's some cultural things going out there in the OC that I think isn't getting recognized. So shout out to the County of Orange.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, the county of Orange, county the city of Santa Ana, the city of Garden Grove, the city of Anaheim, especially those cities right there really go out of their way, you know, more for the culture and doing a lot of things. And the city of Orange too, Orange is pretty dope, but I feel like Santa Ana and Anaheim really go hard for the culture a lot.
Well, you continue to keep bridging gaps with between the black and brown. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
I want to ask because, and then I know you have a schedule. I have a schedule too, but I wanted to ask, and I had been trying to figure out that guy's name, but I can't remember. But do you know this Instagram influencer? He's really gotten some good attention from a dance, like, oh my God, from a Kendrick song, but he actually calls himself, because before his Instagram name was called Chocolate something, but he was always at some Mexican event and like had on all the Mexican gear, the some the cowboy hat, the shoes, and doing all the Mexican dances. Do you remember him? Do you know of him?
He dressed kind of like
I
like a
can't.
cowboy kind of type shit.
Yeah, he dressed like a cowboy, right?
Was it like was it like Poppy something?
Something. But I know he would get on stages with like big name mariachi bands and all kind of shit. I've seen him. And you know what? Shout outs to him. But it does get to be a fine line, and that's my whole point in bringing this up, between bridging the gaps between brown and the black community. And shout outs to you for trying to do that, because right, you are biracial. So I mean, I know that, has that been difficult, like being black and brown?
Um, yes and no. More when I was younger, when I was trying to understand who I am and the things going on, it was a lot harder because I am in a mainly Mexican area, so the Mexican community would embrace me a lot, but there was kind of some racism towards black people, so it was kind of like they would accept me and I'd be kicking it with all the homies and then I'd hear like racist things about black people and then I'm kind of sitting there like what the fuck like you know like I kind of got to like check them or find a way to like stay quiet or speak up or I just had to like really learn to navigate my emotions and the way to approach different people, you know what I'm saying? Because in the end of the day, like you start to have friends and care about these people, and then they're speaking down on half of who you are and what represents you and your culture and people that you got love for. So it's learning to speak to them and learning to navigate my own emotions and not fucking get in fights constantly and
Yeah.
you know like it was a lot growing up and having to navigate those things, but that's why I am so confident in who I am today. And I learned to just embrace myself and I try to teach that kind of mindset more than anything is that we're all human. We all, you know, through what we do have common goals and common things in common to where we could work together and find common ground. So you just got to play it naturally. I feel like with people, if you have one homie that likes, this type of rap, and you have another homie that likes a similar type of rap, and you have this, person of a different color who is the rapper, well, you bring them all together and now they're all homies and they're all kicking it and then they're telling their homies about the other people and now you naturally just create a positive environment for people to be around and that's what it's all about is creating like positive connections and teaching people to focus on the positive and the human aspect of each of us. It doesn't matter if someone's got face tattoos or was in a gang or is in a gang or, used to tag, or like I tagged in high school and was in a tag crew type shit. Like,
Hmm.
you know, we all have things in our life to where, like with me, if I was promoting a bunch of, I do promote graffiti artists, and people might be like, I never see you tag. They didn't know that I grew up tagging, and all my homies out here are in tag crews. And at the end of the day, that's art. That's something that not everybody could do, and it's a talent, and people get commissioned even to do murals and shit like that for things. Or you see brands doing these corny graffiti fonts when they could just hire one of their homies in the end of the day to design logos for them. And that's what I'm going to be doing with my company, is having my homies, you know really put their authentic touch into what we got going on and really represent the streets and the culture and everything that we are the right way.
My bad. And you know what? Right. And just to add in on that, right? Because it doesn't matter what you what your appearance is, and that's what we should be more on, instead of right, because that's all what I try to do is kill stigmas and erase, the inabilities of not wanting to support and be positive.
Yeah.
Exactly. I've I I'm totally with you. So, um, any other shout outs that you want to, because I know you worked with a lot of people and you're doing a few things. I just want to make sure you get all of that out. Hesh.
Yeah. Yeah. I think those were the biggest ones. Is Yokan Tech, for I just was doing a lot of promo with them recently. Afro Goth Aesthetic, I'm always doing things with them consistently. Of course, follow Street Savage TV. Um, Shout out to Betty Crocker Bakes. She's like a mentor for me in a lot of things that I do. She's plugged me in with amazing people. Shout out to Kitty Brats and Nationwide Presents. Um, Shout out to Smiley Collects. He's actually doing strains and sounds, strains and games events, to where it's like Pokemon card collecting. He has live like gaming tournaments with, like, I think Nintendo 64 games or something like that. And then he has a bunch of cannabis vendors. So that's a really dope thing he's got going on. Um, so yeah, there's shout out to IBC Cleanups. He does beach cleanups with cannabis brands.
Okay.
Um, the 710 market out in LA, shout out to them. They're always doing 710 market events. Um, and then a couple of the brands that I work with, Oppie Genetics, they're dope as fuck. Shout out to Oppie, Above the Clouds Joint Company, and Reserved Cannabis. They do vapes and cannabis, and all those dudes use like the best quality product, and they're really good people. They're dope. Keep a lookout at these events.
Well, shout outs to him. That's what's up. And did you have any um New Year affirmations or things that you're gonna be going through throughout this year, 2026? This is gonna be everybody always says it's gonna be my year, it's gonna be the good year. What any specific New Year's resolution you got? Or
So, New Year's resolution is to consistently post on YouTube and all the platforms that I got. With Street
okay.
Savage TV, there's a lot of things that I'm still uploading, and it's like I got like Wu-Tang concerts and Dave East and uh, some of these like big name artists, Amanda Carrera, um, Jordan Jade. Shout out to Jordan Jade. She's amazing from the Bay Area.
Shout
She
out.
works with a lot of Bay Area legends like Keek the Sneak and like you could think of whatever Bay Area artist is popping right now, La Russell, E40, and she's pretty much worked with them or is going to work with them. So it's pretty fucking dope. She's amazing, killing it. But yeah, definitely. uh,
Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm pretty faded right now. But
but
it
yeah, I think
has been really dope talking to you today. And definitely y'all it let's see. Let's make sure we get out all your platforms that you want. Well, just the platforms that you were on. I know you're also because oh wow, you definitely deal with a lot of platforms. You
yeah,
deal with a lot of platforms. So
yeah. The the ones that I of course run HeshHippie.tv, StreetSavage.tv,
okay.
uh,
And that's
Hesh.
on Instagram. Do you also have YouTube channels or
Yep, I got
okay.
YouTube channels for both. I got Facebook pages for both, and I got TikToks for both.
So, and then is can they click the link in your bio or
Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. They can click the link in my bio, and it'll have a link to my YouTube.
IG bio? Click the link
Yeah,
in his IG
everything.
bio. Also get at him. Y'all done heard all the people that he actually is in connection with because we do have Instagram. You can get in his DMs and message him. And it's been such a pleasure. I want to thank you for coming on my platform today. I hope you got out everything that you wanted to get out today. That's what I do here. I try to make sure that everybody, basically gets everything out, and make sure they had a great experience. I'm not controversial like some people want to say, like asking underlying questions. Shout out to Natalie Nunn. Shout out to
Yeah, hell yeah. Shout out Natalie Nunn. Shout out to DJ Sky High Baby.
yeah.
Shout
Shout
out to
outs
every
to
all the baddies.
Smiley. Shout outs to all of them. I
Yeah, shout
don't
out
judge. Y'all baddies, yes, right. You bosses. But Natalie Nunn, get you somebody that knows how to answer questions sometimes. Get you
um,
somebody, please, honey. Yes, you can build $1 million pools in the backyard.
yeah, that was wild. That was
Very well. Very wild. Very
she
wild.
was not happy with the way that came out too, but
I know. And then
um,
she wanted to clown, she wanted to clown podcasters. Oh, they be trying to ask underlying questions. Excuse me? But you a boss though. You should be prepared for that. That's your lesson. That was your little
yeah,
belt to ass. Like, get your shit together. You feel me?
yeah,
Get your
it's
shit
like
together. You can't be
it,
making that much money. That's a word to the wise. You can't be and then when you do get in this business, right? You make the money, but don't let it make you. And then you also hire people to fulfill roles. Now you are a commodity. You are your own business. Hire people to help you. You know,
yeah.
don't just take it up on yourself because that's as quick as you can. Because now there's pictures out there of Snoop sitting on Diddy's lap. I don't
That's crazy as hell. What?
shout outs to Snoop, but bro, I don't know how you're gonna get out of this one. I don't, but I hope you do. Trust me, I hope you get out of this one. Everybody keeps talking about is AI. I don't know. Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it. I love Snoop though. I got his
I love
cookbook. I got
Snoop.
Snoop
I
on the
love
Stoop.
Snoop. But now, everything is being exposed and we just gotta make sure that we doing everything and keeping everything on the up and up. Really, that's what my whole point. And stop being them crash dummies, because you ain't gonna. It's not gonna work out for you in the long run. Whatever you do in the
Well, I
dark
feel
is
like
definitely gonna come on the internet.
yeah, that's a fact. But I feel like with what she does, it's what she her whole baddie show is almost like shock value. So if she stayed quiet, it wouldn't have been a Natalie Nunn baddie interview. You know, there had to be some controversy type shit.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
And she's the leader of the baddies, so it's like, you know, there's sometimes you go on here like I was mentioning Royal Rollers Royale. When I was on that episode, I was so high, sounded so stupid. Worst answers whole time. Just I it was bad, but it was good for entertainment. People probably laugh at me, you know, all the time. I was like
right.
five back deep before we even started, and I don't smoke backwoods, so I was just high as hell, you know. But still, like sometimes you have those moments on TV that aren't the best, but you know, content is content in the end of the day, and once it's out there, you can't change it. So,
Yeah, you can't
you know,
change it. You can't. But you definitely just gotta still keep your values somewhat. I
yeah,
mean, I'm just saying, you gotta keep some values somewhat. I mean, because right, for the most part, baddies is supposed to be entertaining, and what we don't see. That's why I said, because I really think if this is like a big plot for Diddy in PR with him and Dude, because I mean he only got like right 50 months, so like he's gonna be out. He ain't worried about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And 50 months for everything that he's been alleged of or whatever has been substantiated. I don't know. But at the end of the day, he only got 50 months and the whole world knows Diddy right now. The whole world. There's not probably like no nook and cranny that doesn't know Diddy right now.
hmm
I mean, you're right. The more you answering questions wrong, the more exposure that you do get, the more right. Right. It's
yeah,
all about controversy. Yeah, I get it. But
yeah,
yeah, you gotta keep your values though. Keep your values, keep your head up, and don't be no crash dummy. And this is Shawnee Love with the real voice of LA. And we definitely talk today with Hesh Hippie. He in the house. Follow him. Make sure you stay tapped in with him and me, because I'm trying to bring you the good energy. That's a wrap.
yeah.
Okay, so